So we're going to start today's session. So let your whole body weight go down and keep your neck head straight in one line. And gently close your eyes and focus your mind to this bell sound. So while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing and thoughts. And let everything to settle down. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, in this meditation session, we mainly going to practice Samatha Bhavana and Vidarsana Bhavana. So, tranquility meditation and insight meditation. So actually, in the beginning, I will give some guidance and some informations. So, but you have to remember that that information not about how to do meditation, because we cannot teach how to do meditation. But at the same time, we can share information about what is meditation. So that way, when it comes to you, if you recognize what is the meditation, naturally, there is a way that you can develop a art to practice yourself. So otherwise, if you develop a format according to the teacher or the books or the lectures or the sermon, in that the very beginning that you go out of the meditation, because in the Buddhist meditation, the very purpose of cultivating your mind, developing your mind. So if you follow a pattern, so the mind itself become very limited to that pattern. So if you become very limited to the pattern, the mind not going to develop. So then the way to develop your mind becoming free from all the patterns. So that is why it is a little bit complicated, because in conventional life, we used to follow the patterns through our education system, through our culture, tradition, religions, and through entire our life. We used to follow patterns. So that is the very nature of the samsara. That's why you are in the samsara, because you are in a pattern, which another way which we call habits. So meditation here, especially when it comes to the samatha and vipassana, the very main purpose of this practicing meditation is rescue your mind from the patterns. So then you have to understand. So your purpose is get out of the pattern. So then how about through meditation, if you build up a pattern, what will happen? You again go back to the The same nature. Maybe it is a different method, but same thing happening. So that's why you have to be very clear. So when it comes to understanding what is meditation, there are many ways that it explains. So when it comes to meditation, it's one thing is contemplating, observing, or letting settle down itself, and sometimes using the thought, repeating thoughts, and you visualizing. So when it comes to Eastern and Western, there are major difference in meditation. So nowadays, we mostly use this meditation to achieve something, achieve. So as example, to achieve, you use your thoughts. So in samatha meditation, another way it called chitta bhavana. Chitta bhavana means you use the thoughts to develop your mind. There is a possibility you can come to a level. And so at the same time, our purpose is here not to achieve to something, but allow our mind to settle down. So it is two different ways. So as example, when we say, when we get the word concentration or attention. So when it comes to attention, concentration, and focus, so if you look deeply, this all come out of a kind of like a meaning, you stretch the mind, you stretching the mind. But when it comes to vipassana, you don't stretch your mind. You allow your mind to settle down. So then you have to understand, when it comes to vipassana, you cannot stretch your mind. That means you cannot focus to something. You cannot put attention to something. Because if you put the attention, that means there is a subject and object. There are divisions. So it cannot be like that. So when it comes to vipassana level, that, and we say inside meditation, so you observe you observe the inner experience. So then you cannot put attention from this point to that point. You cannot concentrate from here to there. You cannot focus from here to there. So it's like, it's same like you allowing the water to settle down. But that settling down doesn't mean you go to sleeping mode. You go to like autopilot mode. No. You keep the fully awareness within the mind, and you recognize all the experience happening within the mind. And not only that, you're not bound to any kind of emotions or the thoughts or the patterns or even the experience that you had in this very moment. You're not bound to that. You always become free from it. So that is the very nature of when it comes to vipassana level of practice. But getting to that, first you have to make your mind usable and prepare to that level. So for that purpose, we have to use the tranquility meditation. So when it comes to tranquility meditation, we have to use all the tools to make our mind calm down. So that's why one tool we use, our inhalation, exhalation. So that's why we need a primary mental object. Why? Because in conventional way, in conventional life, the mind need an object to settle down. But once the mind settles down, you have power to get out of the object. But in conventional way, you cannot even think how the mind can exist without name and form. You always need that. But if you tame your mind, if you develop the ability, then there is a way you can do it. But now, without getting to tranquility state, you cannot understand how you can do it. So as example, through 200 pound, you cannot just lift like this. If you are just ordinary person. See, you don't have that capacity. Even you cannot imagine how I can do that. You cannot do it. And 100 push-ups. You cannot do it. But how about you start every day, 5 push-ups. Next day you add another 5, another 5, and you train, you develop, and you study how to develop the lung capacity. And you go to necessary dieting program, and you take necessary vitamin and protein. So this way you build up. How about that after 3 months, 6 months? What will happen? 100 push-ups. You go for that. And how about 200 pound maybe? You lift it. How? By training. But today, you cannot do it. But that doesn't mean it is not there. So the same thing with the vipassana. So first, you have to come to tranquility state to drop all the thought patterns. Without coming to tranquility state, you cannot do it. So then, getting to that tranquility state, you have to follow this method. So then in the beginning, you keep attention to in front of your nose and your upper lip area, and allow your mind to settle down with the sensation of the inhalation, exhalation. And maybe your mind go here and there, don't worry about it, because that it used to be like that. But if you keep attention little by little, the thoughts start to follow that attention. So that is to do towards the inhalation, exhalation. And allow your inhalation, exhalation to happen itself. Don't count or don't hold, don't maintain it, and don't make any comments regarding it. Just allow it to happen. Don't interfere to that nature. And once the mind settle down, start to observe inhalation, exhalation separately. So even though I give this as information, and you don't need to develop a pattern yourself. When you practice, you have to be free. And then the next level, you may see entire continuation of the inhalation, exhalation, and follow it, knowing this is the beginning, this is the middle, this is the end. And sometimes you see some inhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold, like that. So maybe in the beginning, you start to see some inhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, softer, like that way. So then you recognize it. Whatever the details you see, just recognize. Don't build up order. Don't build up a pattern. Always keep the freedom inside you. And then from there, once the mind settles down, start to observe the very nature of the inhalation, exhalation. Go more deeper. So now you not count on surface level of details. Longer, shorter, heavy, soft, inhalation, exhalation. You don't look for that. You go deeper and then recognize the very nature of impermanent within your inhalation, exhalation, and the experience that you gain, and develop the self-knowledge, self-experience, and stay with it. Again and again, look for that. Don't allow your mind to go here and there. And sometimes your entire body, you may feel whole body as one. Even in that feelings. So when the inhalation, exhalation happen, you may feel entire body moving up and down like a balloon. Just in that way also, just recognize impermanent. Whatever the feelings or the sensations come to your mind, don't look any other details, just recognize the impermanent. Even you may hear a sound, smell come, any pain arise, just see the sensation, that the impermanent nature. Another thing is unsatisfactory nature. There is no moment, there is no feelings going to settle down and bring any kind of permanent comfort or any satisfaction. It is just for the moment, even that moment always moving and changing. So whatever experience come to you, and see that. And selflessness. So even your experience yourself not belong to self, even whatever the outside object, that also doesn't have any self. Inhalation, exhalation itself doesn't have a self. Any sound itself doesn't have a self. Same feelings, that smell, it doesn't have a self. Or any pain arise, it doesn't have a self. Even your mind, thoughts, that whatever, it doesn't have a self. See deeply, go to the bottom. Don't afraid to see the truth. Use your maximum strength and investigate. Analyze yourself and see, look. If you see something permanent, maybe you are the first one in this human history. Find it. So look for that. Why you have to believe because of the Buddha said? You don't need to believe that. Why you have to believe something impermanent, unsatisfactory nature, selflessness? Look yourself. How are you going to accept that knowledge? So the Vipassana knowledge is the getting your self-experience. And if you recognize that, and then you accept the teachings, then you become more respectful towards the teachings. Otherwise, it is just, it's just a ordinary knowledge. No, develop a self-knowledge, self-experience. See this. So Dhamma is like a manual. These all teachings, we try to help you and giving some encouragement and pushing you to practice yourself. So always remember, you are your own master. So then you have to give your best to your practice and recognize. And if you are able to see that, and then from there, Buddhas and all other enlightened masters, whoever, that path they went, and you are also start to go towards that way. So it is your choice, and you gain it not by listening, not by believing, not by because of that you feel good. No, you have to go in that path with the self experience and with the self knowledge. So let's practice a little bit and get ready yourself. Your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture, please. Bring your attention to your body and scan it to toes 3 times yourself and say Supatveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge in this moment with this sitting. May my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we are spending in this very lifetime. Detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation, exhalation, and then later observe the impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness. Bring your attention to in front of your nose and your upper lip area. Deeply and gently, breathe out 3 times, please, and find the sensation. And recognize inhalation, exhalation separately. Let everything to settle down itself. Keep focus your mind to inhalation, exhalation, and see what are the details that you can recognize. Inhalation, exhalation, entire continuation in the character or the behavior of the inhalation, exhalation. So like that. Your mind go here and there. Keep focus your mind inhalation, exhalation. Recognize the impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness. Bring attention to your body. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars, reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward, visualize yourself and send it as a light to your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, when it comes to our life, mostly when things go up and down in our personal life, in our family, social life, more we think it because of someone else or somebody from outside, or maybe situation, or maybe because of the environment. But deeply, if you have any difficulty, that not because of the outside situations, it because of the condition of your mind. But conventionally, of course, we see many reasons, but that all reasons, it's kind of like a reflection of your mind, reflection of your thoughts. But we have no capacity to bounce back from the situation or the environment or the people and see the beginning of that situation and the connection inside our thoughts. So then we dealing with the outside world. That is the very nature of the conventional life. That you experience something as a result of your mind, but rather than looking at the mind, you go behind the outside situations or the people or the environment or outs with the outside conditions. But when you develop the vipassana level of awareness or mind, that outside situation not that much important. You always develop a knowledge or the wisdom when always you look the condition of inside your mind. So this is two different way. Look, that conventional life, you reasoning this outside, but in the vipassana, in the eternal practice, you always be aware regarding the inside. So through going with the outside and reasoning the outside, people or the situations or the environment or the things, of course, for the moment you feel comfortable. But you don't have any power over this outside world when that things change. Again, you go to unbalance. Again, you go to hurt. Again, you go into disappointed. But when you develop the inside wisdom, no matter what that the outside or the people or the situation or the environment or the condition, and then you always look the inside nature and you deal with that. When you go with the outside, it always time and space govern. But when it comes to the inside, it always awareness govern. And the time in the conventional life, outside life, time and space. So that can change a lot of things. Even the karma come out of the time and space. The karma, the karmic behavior, karmic pattern has a nature, go with the time. There are certain karmas only effect in this very lifetime. And there are certain karmas and effect in the next life. And maybe there are certain karmas will effect for you that during the sansaric journey and when the necessary conditions come. And also there are certain karmas and definitely it going to catch you. So when you look at that nature, it depending on the time. So that is the very behavior of the conventional life. It always situations depending on the time and space. But if you develop the art of vipassana, it always, the most important part is the awareness. Sati sampajanya or clear comprehension, direct perception. So in that direct perception, that means with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, whatever you experience, and in that experience, no disturbance from whatever the thoughts related to past or the future. That is what the very clear experience. And that is what the very clear, clean life. So our purpose, your purpose should be to develop to that level. It is nothing to build, nothing to do with the religion or nothing to do with the Buddhism, or it's nothing to do with the any kind of meditation. That is the inherent, the power within your own life. Buddha is the one who recognized that. And with the great compassion, and he gave it to the world. So then yourself, you should know when you experience something, there is a more better opportunity that you have to experience this life more than pain, unsatisfaction, fear, worry, sadness, stress, anxiety, depression. More than that things, there is a better life that you can have. So at least as a human being, that we talk about clean energy, clean food, clean water. At least as a human being, can you experience clean awareness? So when it comes to clean awareness, it is a kind of like a more sharp and clear. And it put more value on you than this conventional life. The conventional life is like a gem. When you look at it has a value. When you look at it, it has more colors, beauty. But the vipassana knowledge or the clear awareness is kind of like a diamond. See, the diamond is more valuable than just the gem. But look, it's just, crystal clear. It's like white. It's like no color. When you look at it, there's no any colors. But the beauty is that when you look very deeply, you can find that all the colors inside it, but still it doesn't, visible like gem. So your conventional life also like that. Your conventional life, this all the emotions and the dramas and all the fight, sadness, worry, struggle, this everything. So it's kind of like we take it as a kind of like it is normal for the life. It is not normal. You no need to, because your life is very limited. Why you going to spend your whole life becoming worried, sad, unhappy? There is another way that you can experience this life without losing anything. It's like the diamond has that all the colors inside. So same like that, the gem, it is invisible, that all the visible, but the diamond, it has colors, but it is invisible. Like that, you're not going to lose anything from the world, but still you become more crystal clear. But the thing is, you have to get into to clear awareness to experience that. When you come to that level, there are a lot of things going to change. As example, I tell you, like to give a kind of like understanding. See, when we look at the human history, there are a lot of things changed by time. And people invented a lot of things. People recognized a lot of things. It was here. But thousand years ago, people didn't see it. So as example, electricity. It was in the water. But people cannot see it. But then certain people start to find out it. So same like, do you know how much things that you can't see around you? And sometimes when you walk, and maybe you walk through many kind of medicine, many kind of science, and the technology can give us a good, more comfortable life. Maybe in the future somebody can find it, but we don't see, we don't recognize it. We have no idea. Maybe when you walk, hike, and see nowadays there are many new kind of that the medicine come to world, this herbal medicine. Mostly that the natural, come from the natural energy, like trees, from the nature, and seeds. In the ancient time, people didn't know that. So how you know, maybe today in your garden you have a lot of things, and you throw out the thinking it is weed, and then you destroy it. But in the future, somebody come and recognize, oh, this is a very good medicine for cancer. But you didn't have power to understand that. So like that, there are a lot of things around us in this physical world. We don't see it. But the thing is, when it comes to the mind, remember, there's nothing else that you can find new. This already, the Buddha himself, to 100%, to the highest, he already found out. So then you have a great opportunity that yourself, if you look very carefully a little bit, and how to use this mind, how to develop this mind, how to cultivate this mind, and you can achieve the highest. So during this lifetime, during your time period, if you able to look at that side little bit, and your life going to be more better. Remember, you didn't come to this world just to work. You didn't come to this world to keep earning money, earning money, earning money. You didn't come to this world just to hope. You didn't come to this world just to be worried. As a human being, there is a way that you can experience this life without any disappointment, without any unhappiness, without any sadness. But if you don't look for that, you will never find it. It's same like that things around us we don't see. So then yourself and determine, because that is the best gift and that is the best development that you can gain to yourself. Don't just keep going same like the other people. What will happen? Then we're going to end up with the same like that. And suddenly we die, then again we'll come and again keep repeating the same thing. And there is nothing new. So then yourself, you are enough mature to understand this is it. This is what life, this is conventional life. But eternally there is something that you can still can come to a point and experience. That moment is more valuable than this anything. So then when you look for that, to get into that, there are certain qualities that you have to develop as an ordinary person. Because we cannot resist this ordinary life, conventional life. So then we have to use this all the conventional facilities to gain that. So the very first quality to develop yourself, slow down. Remember yourself, slow down. And if you are able to slow down little by little, even thinking, even doing action and whatever the things in day-to-day life, and you will see your awareness going to become more sharp and clear. That is a good investment for your clear comprehension, direct perception. Becoming busy, you're not going to gain any kind of extra year to your life. You're not going to reach to something. No, you cannot expand this world just becoming busy. No. But if you look to slow down, you will see how much you abuse your entire this system. Even sometimes when you just allow your inhalation, exhalation to happen itself, you cannot allow it to happen. Naturally, you hold, you breathe. That's why a lot of people like to do the breathing exercise than letting it settle down. That's why a lot of people like to do kind of like a yogic pranayama, like a Kapali Bharati pranayama. If I teach that, a lot of people go and practice, like, because that's the very, it's giving you kind of like a, kick. It is kind of like a giving you kind of like energy. But slowing down is a different way you cultivate the energy. You naturally allow it to grow. But we cannot do. See, sometimes in this very heavy traffic, bumper to bumper traffic, you drive slow. You cannot go fast. Everyone see each other. But still look how many people hit when they have the bumper to bumper traffic. How many people get accident? Why? Because they cannot drive slow. They used to drive fast. The same thing happening in life, all in day-to-day life. So the very first thing, remember, as a quality, invest your life. Invest yourself to gain the clear comprehension, direct perception, slow down. When you see something, when you smell something, when you eat something, and whatever you do, slow down. Then you will see. It will help for you deeply, deeply, deeply look inside. Another one is little bit be silence. So the becoming silence is a kind of like a great investment with good profitable action yourself, and it giving you a lot of benefits. Don't talk too much. We are monks, we professional to talk. We can talk non-stop days, but you're not like that. So yourself remember to be silent, especially when other people talk. When husband, wife talk, if the husband talk, if the wife can be silenced, and if the wife talk, if the husband can be silenced, you're going to get out of a lot of problems. And even with the children and parents, even in the office, with the co-workers, anywhere, you're going to get out of a lot of problems. It is a science that you have to develop, but we cannot. It is very difficult when somebody talk to be silenced. No, we just trying. It's because that energy is kind of like a magnet. When somebody talk, it's like you are all this, the jaw and this everything going to kind of like a blow out. You cannot hold. So that is a deeply you becoming calm down, and it help you to settle down your nerve system. And that is a kind of like you gaining a quality to invest your life to clear comprehension. So develop that, practice it. It is not a magic. It is that for your own good. And other thing is simplicity. So the simplicity yourself, you have to practice a little. Don't be too complicated. And when the situation comes, when you have a conversation, make it very simple. But we are addicted to make complicated. So that way we make situations more difficult. So in day-to-day activities, maybe you cannot practice it for 24/7, but at least 1 hour you keep. Make it as much as simple in that 1 hour. So whatever you do, develop that discipline within that 1 hour. Make it simple. Whatever you do, make it more simple. Then you see. Because when you become more simple, the clarity going to develop. Another thing is sensitivity. See how difficult for us to recognize the sensation within our own inhalation, exhalation. We know we're breathing, but there are some people don't know they're breathing, but yourself, you have a life. But look, when you try to observe, you don't know, you cannot get it. Why? Because you don't develop the sensitivity. So sensitivity, it's a profitable skill that you gain. And sometimes, there are people, they have to tell something again and again and again. Maybe that they have to show how to do, but still people cannot get it. But when you develop the sensitivity, it is a great language. You can learn a lot of things. You can understand a lot of things. See that we have the perception. We understand through the perception. So the perception bring the connection. So that connection in the very beginning, develop the sensation and the feelings. If you don't have the sensitivity, later you understand what happened. It already gone, because that what you hear in this very moment, if you are more sensitive to catch it, when that words come to your ear, when the pictures come to your eye, you recognize it. But if you have more time to think about it, then already it gone. Then you living in the past. Mostly that is what happening. We living in the past. So then the sensitivity that the fill that gap and bring you to the present moment. So because you are behind the time. Through the samatha and vipassana, what we try to do, we try to bring ourselves to the little bit forward. Otherwise, we have to think to understand. That's why when somebody says something, we say, okay, let me think. Let me go home, or let me, think. I'll let you know tomorrow. So in this very moment, you have the conversation, and maybe you already have the solution, you know the answer, but you are not sure about it. As example, somebody says something, you know you have to say yes, and then you say, let me think about it, and then you go home and you start to think, and then yes, then tomorrow you say yes. See, the same answer, nothing changed. Only thing is what happened, you took time to be clear yourself. Why? Because you didn't have the sensitivity. So you have to develop it. You have to sharp yourself. You have a lot of energy. But the thing in day-to-day life, averagely, we use our energy for a lot of unnecessary things. That is what happened. We use a lot of energy to think unnecessarily. And we use a lot of energy to living in the mind, in a kind of like a la la land or dreamland, somewhere. We having daydreams, thinking. We get tired. It's like more difficult than workout in a gym. You inside your head, planning, dreaming, and emotions, maintain to emotions. And always, we use a lot of energy to maintain emotions ourselves, looking for satisfaction, maintain this body with the feelings. And it is so hard. Just imagine, little bit. If you cut down that and you invest that for your practice, See, that as parents, from the day you met, and even you meet the girlfriend or boyfriend, from that day, how much you use the energy to maintain this life, your love life, and then your marriage life, and then the children, and as parents, this family life, within 20 years. Look at you, what happened. You kind of like, lose all your life to maintain yourself, these emotions. And what you gain? Do you now happy and jump and, you doing party? Oh, I am so happy now. I reached to this. Are you becoming happy like that? Who going to be happy in the world? Look at the recent interview with the Lady Gaga. And what she telling that every day she feel like to suicide. And she telling it's a kind of like the becoming famous became more suffering for her. That's reality. That's why the Prince Siddhartha, he used to have all the luxurious life and escape from the palace in the middle of the night without telling to anybody. You have to think about it very seriously, why he did like that way. And one day when he having a discussion with the Venerable Ananda, and the Buddha mentioned Venerable Ananda, in that life, I didn't see any single things to be completely happy or bring the satisfaction. If I saw something like that, I never tell anyone to live that life. So that's the truth. But still, that's why we need the self-knowledge, because we don't get it. We caught up in ideas. We do everything because of the ideas. Ideas pouring from others, society, the culture, traditions, and marketing world. We're living in that. This everything nowadays marketing. So then we get into that. We caught up with it. So then yourself remember, it is okay. You have to do this because that is life. We have to experience. But remember, it is enough for you. When you experience something, remember it is enough for you. Don't go back to it again. Don't wish it again. More better way, more better. It's not going to happen. Even you become like a Prince Siddhartha. Only thing is you're going to go one day. So then yourself, you had that experience, and now be very clear. I done. I'm done this. And come to a point. No, you don't need to think 24/7. No, you have to maintain this life, but for a moment, just 5 minutes. That's enough. 5 minutes, yourself, you think, I don't need anything anymore in this world. I am done. With that thinking, just sit. Just 5 minutes. You see what will happen. Try it. Give a try. Just 5 minutes, you think, I don't need anything in this universe anymore. I am complete. And with that, sit. And then that sensitivity you develop and understanding, it take you to samadhi. Samadhi means you completely settle down. No any disturbance, nothing to look for. You complete. In that completion, you start to get into a point to transform this moment to something. So that samadhi you need to get into that level is important. So then start with being that the silence, and slow down yourself and develop some simplicity, and then sensitivity, and then it will lead you to samadhi. It's kind of like all five S: silence, slow down, and simplicity, sensitivity, and samadhi. So once you come to that tranquility state, and from there, and you will see that how everything in a journey, that moving always and changing, and that will help you to gain the liberation and understand the liberation and transform you to from this to enlightenment. So it is possible. It is your choice. And maybe not for everyone, but still maybe you have to go through something. But still, just keep in mind. So whatever you go through, do your best and go with it knowingly. There is something else. There is something beyond what you see. There is something beyond what you experience. There is something beyond what you enjoy. So then one day you will come to that point. So with that, I bless upon everyone with this good practice. May all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavatantarayo sukhi diga yuko bhava. Ittavata cha ammihi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe satta anumodantu Sabba sampatti siddhya idhamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu. Sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.